when I was using, the drugs that I used were a warm blanket almost to just give your body that warmth throughout, that filling of a void. And after I met Jesus, he literally became that same warm blanket, but not for short periods of time, a constant warm blanket. My name is Marco Pellegrini. I grew up in Anderson, sort of like Mount Washington area, right down Salem. When I was in 8th grade, I lost my father, and I was his only son. I have 2 sisters, but it was kind of like that father-son thing. He was so big in my life, and we did all the sports together. He was always at those events. So after I lost my father, I also injured my knee, and I couldn't play sports. So it was like all those eggs that were in that basket, the basket was gone. I didn't have eggs anywhere else. And I didn't know what to do. When I was younger, I really thought that God was just the church. God was church. That's kind of how I saw it in my mind. Before I fully embraced God, life was, it seemed normal. I thought that everything that I was doing was normal. I was in sports, very busy. But as soon as I started to lose things that I put a lot of my energy into, I was very lost. And then I started picking up with the drugs. And it continued to get worse from there, not knowing Jesus at all, really. First, somebody told me it was something else, and then I started doing it on the weekends. And then I found out that it really was heroin, and I told myself that, hey, I'm only doing it on the weekends. This is fine. This is okay. I'll be able to control this. And, like almost in the blink of an eye, I'm doing it 4 times a week, then to every day. And then it really was, if I don't have it, I can't function. If I don't have it, I can't sleep. If I don't have it, I can't eat. If I don't have it, I can't be okay or happy or talk to people or be, so kind of that warm blanket comes into play. Every time I needed that warm blanket. In March of 2014, it just got bad. The drugs were an everyday thing, more often doing things to people I love. And it got really bad, and I didn't know what to do, and I tried to take my own life. Fortunate enough for me, there were good people around me, and I was able to get into treatment and things like that. So Jesus is, you can already see the smile right when you ask the question. It's like everything. He is that warm blanket constantly. I can have that warm blanket whenever I want. I can always talk to him. And Jesus has just shown me this mercy and grace of the things I don't deserve, and he's just given it all to me and put these people in my life that, there's so many people that I've met and that have just helped me so much, that he's put there, and he's opened me to see things that I didn't see before. You look at situations completely different because I'll see something happen, a similar thing that I saw before I knew Jesus, but then after, and I see it, I say, I know who did that. I know exactly who did that for 100% fact. And there's something about knowing that is very calming and like amazing. And you can share that with other people that know is really cool, and also with people that don't, so. I still would probably consider myself a new believer. It's been a little over 1.5 years now. And that fire was so intense at first that I couldn't stop. And I had people kind of tell me, the fire can't last forever. It's like anything else. And so I was kind of prepared for that. And now it's to that point where the fire isn't quite as much. And I feel like God is putting more responsibilities as a man growing up, living on my own, and like my job and things like that, and paying bills, but still making time for him. And realizing that I need him so much on a daily basis.